Good morning. Welcome to Wednesday, a rainy Wednesday morning. You can see the rain hitting in the pond back behind me. It's going to be a wonderful day yet, though. For the past week or so, we've went through Jesus' teaching of his disciples called the Beatitudes. And as you read these, you understand that it addresses, first of all, our state of mind regarding the righteousness of God. And it's important that we see what we should be first. But there's also a do that is connected with these. When we realize the posture we should have before God in one respect, and then how that plays out before man, we have to take what is the attitude of the heart and then apply it to the action in our life. We're going to just review these today as we finish this up before we go into our next teaching. But Jesus, in teaching his disciples, the first thing he deals with is attitude. He also deals with pride, the number one sin in humanity. It was what caused Satan to fall and causes every human being to fall is pride. Jesus says when he saw the crowds, he went up on the mountainside and sat down, and his disciples came to him. Now it's important also that we have a desire for the things of God and go to him for the answers that we need. He says, "Blessed are the poor in spirit, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven." Now, as I read over these this morning in review, I'm going to give you a word with each of these blessings. Jesus says there's a blessing for the right attitude, but the opposite would then be a conflict or a curse for the opposite attitude. So to be poor in spirit, what is the opposite of poor in spirit? That's pride in spirit, self-righteousness. So for those who are not poor in spirit, they're proud in spirit, and they exalt themselves, and there is no blessing for that. The second one is, blessed are those who mourn, for they will be comforted. What's the opposite of those who mourn? Is indifference. It's a lack of empathy for those that are hurting. It's a lack of the care and concern that God has for the lost. Blessed are the meek, for they will inherit the earth. What is the opposite of meekness? Well, it's arrogance. It's an attitude that I've got this. I'm going to deal with it. I'm going to take care of it. I'm going to get them told. I'm going to get my revenge. Well, that's not meekness. That's arrogance, and that's obstinance. And Jesus says there's no blessing for that. Blessed are those who hunger and thirst for righteousness, for they will be filled. The opposite of that is just indifference. It's a lack of spiritual hunger and appetite. Blessed are the merciful, for they will be shown mercy. What is the opposite of merciful? Well, it's hateful. It's just that mean-spirited, I don't care attitude, and it's the opposite of showing mercy. Jesus was merciful to us, and he wants us to have the attitude and the heart of mercy. Blessed are those who are pure in heart, for they will see God. The pure in heart are those that have been delivered from the bondage of sin. The opposite of that with those that are still in that bondage, those that are still bound by the sins that hold them, by the attitudes and the bitterness and the anger and the resentment and all those things that keep them held in chains and in bondage. Blessed are the peacemakers, for they will be called sons of God. A peacemaker is one who makes peace. A peacekeeper is one who avoids conflict. But the opposite of a peacemaker is an agitator. This is someone who stirs the pot, someone who is constantly perpetuating the atrocity to keep themselves a victim, and they don't want reconciliation. They want to continue talking about how bad they've been treated and how bad things were and how miserable their life is because somebody did something to them, and they don't want reconciliation. They don't have the peace of God in their heart, and they can't make peace with God or with others. And the final one is, blessed are those who are persecuted because of righteousness, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven. Well, the opposite of that are those that are not persecuted because they compromise their principles. There's no blessing for those who yield to the enemy's demands, but those who stand on the principles of Christ. God wants us blessed. Jesus wants us blessed. The first thing he taught his disciples was how to position yourself for blessing. Read over these again, think about them, memorize them, and realize that there is a blessing from God for all of His children who put themselves in the place of blessing. God bless you. Be careful on this rainy Wednesday. It's a mess out there today, but it's going to be a great day. See you later.